All right, our guest tonight is TNA President Dixie Carter. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? Happy New Year.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. Well, listen, it is a new year. Big news from TNA. You guys are moving from Spike TV to Destination America, beginning with the first episode on Wednesday, January 7th, and switching to Friday nights, every Friday night, January 16th. Do you feel the transition is good for the long-term betterment of the company? And what positives has the relationship between Destination America and TNA already spawned behind the scenes?
Well, I think it's critical for the company. We were in a position where during negotiations I went to every network saying, look, we're not interested in just, licensing our television show, our 1 2-hour show Impact for your network. I'm interested in a partner, somebody that's going to help build our brand, give us more exposure, provide new programming for us, and that's exactly what we've gotten and more with Discovery and the support of Discovery and for Destination America. Very, very excited about all that they're giving us across all 10 Discovery networks: support, print advertising, PR, radio, digital. It's everything that we had hoped it would be.
Mike Chiari?
Over the past week, TNA's announced the re-signing of several stars, and perhaps the biggest among them is Kurt Angle. Kurt admitted that he was going to play the field a little bit, and he had said that he considered going back to WWE. But what do you think TNA was able to offer that made Kurt decide it was the best fit for him? And also, how big is it for TNA to secure somebody with Kurt's track record?
Well, I think, Kurt was a game changer for us when we first signed him, and I think it's important at such a new beginning for us to still have him as a cornerstone of our company. I think Kurt looks at all the positive changes that are happening, our signing with UTA out in Los Angeles, the new network deal, the commitment for them. He sees the big picture, he gets it, and he's a joy to work with and a real leader for us, and so we're thrilled to have him.
PG?
Hey, Dixie, it's an exciting time for the company. What is the atmosphere like backstage at TNA, and what are you most looking forward to with the new direction of the company?
Well, unfortunately, I am not even going to see what the atmosphere is like on Wednesday. I am going to be in Los Angeles while they are going live in New York. I'm representing Discovery and Destination America at the Television Critics Association. But again, that's just part of what they are asking us to do. Ken Anderson and Chris Melendez and myself will be there, and we'll be representing our show and our network in front of hundreds of media representatives. But just the whole vibe from the locker room, even before, I have not seen them since we've made this announcement, but even beforehand, everybody was so supportive. The conversations that I've had with the talent since then, the call that we had to let them know, they realize that this is what we've all been wanting and all been hoping for, and it's going to be a great fresh start for us.
Well, listen, the move to a different channel has led to speculation that the company would be hitting the reset button in sorts on many of the top storylines. Do you view the move as a chance to reboot the product, or is it more important to carry over the same angles and characters to ensure familiar Impact Wrestling for hardcore fans?
I think it's a little bit of both, quite honestly. I think that, the kind of the momentum that we had this, in New York for those New York shows this past year, we want to continue that on, take it up a notch. We've got, some surprises planned. We've got some changes planned. I mean, you're not going to see it as much on the live show because there's only so much you can do with a live television production. But the shows afterwards, you're going to start to see a transformation of some new technologies that we're going to use, some new production, some new and exciting ways in which we want to, showcase the show. And things that we've talked about for a long time, but quite honestly, technology wasn't where we needed to be to fit into how we have to shoot a wrestling show. And so I'm really, really excited for things to start, taking shape in the coming weeks.
Mike Chiari?
With TNA announcing that Lockdown is going to air on Destination America rather than pay-per-view, there's been a lot of speculation about where the company's heading in that regard. So what is the plan for TNA as it relates to pay-per-views moving forward?
Well, we'll still have several, live ones a year, but when we have them, they'll mean something and be worth people's hard-earned money. But I think that, the creative team really wanted to start the year off with a bang and something special on the network, and decided to take the lockdown theme to live and free on Destination America. So I was supportive of that, but we'll still have, a couple of we'll have a couple of live pay-per-views a year, and then we'll still do some of the one-night only specials that we've done that have been really successful for us.
PG?
Dixie, TNA has been doing a lot of shows in recent months in New York and is opening the year there at the Manhattan Center January 7th to 9th before heading on an international tour. Is there a touring schedule in place for TNA beyond January, or is New York expected to be TNA's new home location?
No, I mean, we'll be looking at some different places to shoot television. We'll be going back on the road and doing house shows, once we feel like we've got the Impact show where we want it to be, and then, get the tour where we want it to be. We need to give some of our markets a little time to breathe, but more importantly, our focus needs to go on, what we're going to do on our show for Impact to make it even more special. So, that's really where our time and attention's been. And but we will be filming television in some different places through the year, but hopefully, maintaining that, a rowdy, small, intimate kind of backdrop where the fans are really a huge part of our show.
All right, last time we spoke to you, you had just been put through a table by Bully Ray. I hate to bring up old stuff, but you were just put through a table, and you were dealing with a broken back. How has the recovery been, and when can the fans expect Dixie Carter back on television?
Now, I am doing much better, actually. It was painful, but, I would do it all again in a heartbeat. And I felt like that's the least I could do for everything those talent have given me and to our fans, and what our fans have given me. That was the least I could do. It's just a small way of showing my appreciation for the hard work that everybody puts in on a week-in, week-out basis. And as far as when I'm coming back, I don't know. The only reason I did that angle was really, everybody looks at it as if it was a Bully Ray angle, but that angle really built an EC3, and it built up a Magnus, and it built a Rockstar Spud, and a lot of other characters that got to come in and out of it. And that's the purpose of me doing it. So, if there's a need down the road, we'd consider it. But there's a lot of things on my plate right now that I'm focused on.
Mike Chiari?
Well, speaking of Bully Ray, he's obviously been a huge part of TNA over the years, but he's not currently listed as part of the active roster. So firstly, what is Bully's current status with TNA? And also, are there any plans to bring him back and sign him to a new deal if you haven't already?
No, I would love to have Bully back. I think that, his contract, has just expired, and like many of them, we're in the process of reviewing those and picking up options or renegotiating new ones depending upon what kind of contract people have. But he has been the cornerstone of our top storyline for the last several years. And I think it's, this gives us this contract comes at the perfect time just to give him a little bit of a breath and a breather. And look, I don't think there's very few people in our business, I think, that are as good and as talented as he is. And I definitely hope to see him back.
BG?
Dixie, there's currently a great deal of talent on the independent scene. Do you envision sticking with the current core roster before bringing in other talent, or would you like to bring in new faces sooner than later?
I think it's going to be a combination of everything. I think we've got a lean and mean talent roster right now. I'm very excited for them to get this opportunity of being exposed, with these replays and the Unlocked show and in different ways than they've been able to in the past. But we're always looking. I think we're still maintaining a big focus on younger talent and how, we can continue to break new faces, which is the thing I'm most proud of that we've done in the last, 12, 16, 18 months. And, we just need to continue that, but always looking for somebody that could be a possible game changer. Look, that bringing one established talent in just freshens up your ability to have matches with, 10, 12, other people that are on our roster. So always looking to do both of those things.
Okay, a huge thanks to TNA President Dixie Carter for coming on the show. Don't forget to catch Impact Wrestling live, their debut on Destination America at 9 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday, January 7th, and then catch the show in its permanent time slot, 9 p.m. Eastern Time Friday nights, starting January 16th. Tell the fans how they can reach out to you on Twitter and support TNA, Dixie.
On Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it's TNA Dixie, and I love reading fan responses. I would really, especially over the next few weeks, love to hear from people what they like, what they'd like to see. We're all ears, and I really appreciate that kind of interaction. And your support, guys, thank you for everything you do for our industry and for us in particular. Wednesday night's a big night for us. It's going to be an amazing show you're not going to want to miss, and we can't wait to get to our Friday time slot.
Well, thank you so much, Dixie, for your time, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you so much, guys. Talk soon.